every time a club signs a new manager, the new boss usually comes in with a new set of rules and informs the entire dressing room about it as soon as possible. That's normal, and those rules many times involve some restrictions and even some outright bans. That is also normal. However, what has perhaps become a little too normal is the banning of ketchup by every new manager at almost every club. At this point, it just feels like once a club gets a new head coach, you're expecting the announcement of the ketchup chop in the next 3 to 5 business days. But why? What has ketchup done to these managers that they never want to see it anywhere near their players? Or could tomato ketchup really be that bad for footballers? Di Canio banned ketchup some years ago at Sunderland. Well, to be fair, Di Canio banned almost everything including singing and mobile phones. But recently Antonio Conte banned ketchup at Tottenham, and even Steven Gerrard has already banned the tomato sauce at Aston Villa. Conte gave his reason when asked about the ban in an interview. In his words, "To be professional, you have to take care of your body. If you do this, you risk less injury and you are ready to face the training, because sometimes the training is hard." According to him, he keeps speaking with and working with nutritionists to ensure that his players have a good diet and stay in the best possible shape, especially considering the high-intensity football the Italian is known to implement at every club he joins. Well, Antonio's nutritionists seem to be feeding him really quality information, because research has shown that ketchup might actually be bad for you. Yes, not only for athletes, even for you who enjoy eating the sweet sauce with literally everything. We will spare you all the boring medical details, but the point is, ketchup can be very fattening, even for footballers who engage in many physical activities. To achieve that sweetness, sugar, salt, preservatives, high fructose corn syrup and other stuff are added to the ketchup. So in like 17 grams of ketchup, you have maybe 19 calories, or more simplistically, there is more sugar contained in just 1 tablespoon of ketchup than in a chocolate chip cookie. Also, because ketchup is hardly ever eaten alone and mostly with junk food, each time you consume the sauce, you're taking in an insane amount of calories into your body. Remember Hazard turning up to pre-season training at Real Madrid overweight? Well, we can't say much, but we are sure ketchup was a huge part of the Belgians' diet during the holidays. Apart from obesity, too much intake of ketchup has also been linked to high blood pressure, diabetes, insulin resistance, liver disease, and even cardiac disorders. So now tell us you don't understand why managers never want to see the sauce around their players. But hey, this is not to scare you and stop you from eating ketchup. Medical researchers have said that ketchup is cool if it is consumed in small quantities, but they advise that it's best to make it yourself at home so you don't have to bother about the additives that go into it. And those additives, to be honest, are the most dangerous part of the sweet sauce. Also, is it possible that these managers are just so disgusted by the smell of ketchup that they don't want it anywhere near them? Like, let's be honest here, even if you enjoy ketchup, you just have to admit that it has a very pungent smell. A ketchup bottle walks into a bar and it doesn't even have to say anything. Its smell announces to the entire bar that it just walked in. And what's even worse is that if the ketchup bottle walks out of the bar an hour later, you'll still think it's there because that smell, that smell, it lingers. In addition to all that, too much intake of tomato ketchup has been known to cause heartburns, acid reflux, and allergic reactions. The doctors say this has something to do with the sauce's richness in malic acid, histamines, citric acid, and some other stuff we've decided not to bore you with. Anyway, if you are allergic, you could get rashes just from eating ketchup. Some people are so unlucky and get shortness of breath, swelling of the face, throat irritation, and many other symptoms. It's a hot mess. Guess what? That's not even all. You also risk kidney stones. This one is not just a ketchup thing though. Tomatoes generally are rich in calcium and oxalate, so if you consume too much of tomatoes, you get a lot of these nutrients which are pretty difficult to break down by your body. So the extra nutrients could lead to the formation of kidney stones. Now, here is one we think is perhaps the main reason managers ban the sauce. Tomatoes are known to cause joint pain. The fruit contains solanine, which builds up calcium in the tissues, and too much of this in the body causes joint inflammation as well as body pains. Maybe Xavi needs to ban ketchup at Barcelona, particularly for Dembele. Perhaps that will make his bones and joints a little stronger. Like, we don't know for sure, but hey, it won't be bad to try now, would it? Finally, one pretty scary thing about tomato ketchup, both for athletes and for regular people like us, is that the sauce contains something called GMO. GMO is genetically modified organisms. Again, this is a football channel, not a science one, so we will just simplify it for you. In most countries, including Japan, Australia, and all members of the European Union, there's a restriction or ban on the production and sale of the substance. In the US, however, it is considered safe. The truth is, research is not very concrete about the safety of the substance, but it is just a very risky one many are not sure about. So sincerely, we'll just say, if you can, stay away from it. Basically, ketchup is a sweet sauce, but too much of it is bad, especially for people whose bodies need to be at top form week in, week out. All that possibility of joint pain, allergic reactions, obesity, diabetes are just too much risk for footballers, no matter how sweet the sauce is.